exactly it changes our lives? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Voices on the Move. Today we are hitting Canary Wharf area to talk about something which is changing the world as we know it, artificial intelligence. Whether it's ChatGPT, Midjourney or another AI image generator, AI is becoming a part of our lives, sometimes without us even realizing it. But how exactly people use AI? And what do they think about AI impact on our future? Let's find out. Do you use any AI-powered software and how do you use it in your daily life?
ChatGPT. I gym, so sometimes I use ChatGPT to create workout routines and stuff like that. So yeah.
So when I was in sixth form, I used a lot of it for assignments because they didn't plagiarise it.
They're not?
No, they didn't. No. They let us hand it in without turning it in. So.
What about you?
Yeah, I use it from time to time, but I didn't use it to do the whole assignment. I use it to more like paraphrase what I'd written to use better vocabulary. I was using ChatGPT and Quillbot because they can both be used to paraphrase and like improve vocabulary. So, yeah.
What about you?
I use ChatGPT and Snapchat AI.
At the moment, no, I don't use AI in my daily life. I have seen people use it from day-to-day lives, like so I work in a bar industry. I've creating menus, coming up with new designs, things like that.
When I need to write a formal thing, anything like to find a correct format, I just put it there and I change few words, I change the distribution, how it's sending the email or things like that. Maybe I use for that.
So I'm dyslexic, so I've been using Grammarly to help with my kind of like general things like emails and communications, especially at work. But other than that, I keep it limited.
No, I just use ChatGPT to be fair, to get for example, right now I'm working in social media, like to get like catchy headlines for articles, so basic things like that. That's what I use.
Do you use it for fun sometimes?
I do spam. I just play with her, like what's the president of India's name, so example like that. Just play around. That's it.
Yeah, cool.
Oh no, I was gonna say I used ChatGPT once to ask it how to text back a boy, and it gave me no useful responses, so I haven't used it.
Yeah, I just often using the ChatGPT, and you can ask ChatGPT any question if you want. Just for my academic question or some just like life question. Yeah, I often use it for my academic question, like university essays question or something. Yeah.
All right.
I think I always use it for my essay.
Essay.
Yes.
All right.
I always if I don't have some new idea, I will ask ChatGPT to think about it. But I don't copy it. I just let it to help me to have good idea.
I use ChatGPT and Colliport for my general email reply or some message reply to someone. Yeah, and that's it. Because I do not use any generate photo or videos because I'm a foreign, so my English is not that well. So sometimes it helped me to correct my grammar mistake or some English problem. Yeah.
I used to use ChatGPT a lot, and I mainly used it as a search engine, basically as a replacement to Google. If I wanted to know answers to very simple questions, I would just ask it.
I'm a designer, I'm a graphic designer, so I do make use of one or two AIs to help generate one or two abstract designs, and I work on them and remodel them into much better handmade design and everything. So yeah, I do.
I use ChatGPT most of the time.
Usually
for work, for organizing stuff.
Yeah, actually yes, I use it GPTI because for my work, for my study, I think it's gonna be huge change in the world. And everybody gonna use it as soon as you can.
What do you think is going to be impact of AI on our lives, on our society in the nearest future?
I think a lot of job roles will change because of it. Obviously, it will make it easier to be more efficient. So I think a lot of jobs will drop off a bit, but it can also create a lot more jobs, engineering, developing it more. So I think it will kind of balance out, maybe lose some jobs, create some jobs. So it's...
Yeah, I agree with Hugo. As AI develops, I think a lot of jobs will go out as it becomes more efficient, and maybe there's just a lack of need of people in the future.
I see AI getting integrated with a lot of the stuff that you do even in the workplace and stuff like that. It's also getting integrated with a lot of these commercial shopping areas and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think everyone's just gonna use it more. Clearly, I have no idea what it's gonna do in the future, but yeah, everyone's gonna use it.
With AI, especially in this day and age, I think it's looking at more of the dangerous side. I think it's lots of things can be fabricated very easily. So I think that can have a lot of negative impact as well. And also, I don't know how true this is, but I was reading an article say to generate one AI is like one image, for example, like the processing power it takes like a lot of power to create it. So it's not really good for the environment. That's what I was reading through. So yeah, I don't think it's good depending on how it's going to be used, basically. I think the biggest benefit, if you use it correctly, is it will take a lot of those little, like the things that can be done that can save time, things like that, I think can be beneficial to save time. But ultimately, I think there are a lot of jobs that will cease to exist because of it.
Right.
And I think this is just my personal opinion. I work in the bar industry, like I said, I'm a bartender. There are certain things that the human personal touch that won't be able to be recreated. Well, as far as I know, I would say. Yeah.
So they wouldn't be able to recreate it.
Yeah, a personal touch. You can tell a machine to make a drink, but there's certain elements of things that you just can't recreate as a person would, I think.
It's useful, so it's something for one side I can say is making your life more simple, more easier to do. At the same time, it's make you like more stupid because you depend at all about you forgot how to do the things. You are not available to manage by yourself. You depend like, the AI will do everything for me while I need to think it. So you don't use your brain.
I think it's going to take over, honestly. And it's so beneficial to us because it just simplifies our life by making it autonomous. Like, you don't do your things physically anymore. For example, Alexa, turn the lights on. It saves you the effort of turning the lights on. Some people might think this is makes you a bit lazy, but I think it's really good and like reduces the minimizes activity for you. So it's a really good thing the way it's progressing now.
I mean, I was a big AI skeptic, but as time goes on, I'm less sort of apocalyptic about it. And when you see innovations like, for example, AI being able to detect early signs of cancer, for example, by like coughing into your smartphone or something, like I really think the net value will be beneficial. However, I think there's a thing where we still have to make sure we actively invest in like creativity and writing and this kind of thing from the human perspective, because it'll be very convenient for media companies not to hire as many journalists and just use AI to write things, and I think that would be a big shame, and I think that ultimately would be negative. But if we're careful and mindful to still prioritize our human qualities, I think it will only benefit us overall.
I think AI technology will be increase our creativity, and if you have some question, you can just ask the AI. They will quickly answer the question, and you will get the result you want. It's really good tools for us, I think, in the nowadays.
Yeah, I think it will help a lot because like the driving can be more safety, should be, or sometimes it's also like helping us like in the daily life, like as like generate any form or like any data. It is like helping a lot, but at the same time is quite concerned about like the jobs, like the people maybe they will lose their job, or like the fake news, the fake information, that will be a lot because
deepfakes.
Yeah, deepfakes, something like that. Like it generates the information can be very fast, like more than the people can do. Yeah.
I guess this is what I hope will happen and what I think will probably happen. I hope it will just be used maybe to augment people's jobs, make life easier. My job in particular, I suppose, could be used. I'm an editor for a publication, and just in general, it would help me with the editing process. What I think will probably happen is it may be used to replace jobs.
Well, I would say artificial intelligence, a lot of people feel like it's a bad, effect on the society. But to be honest, it's actually going to help a lot, because these days, I can't lie, human beings are becoming very lazy. So, artificial intelligence is making it quite easy for you to, you want to do something now. Let's say okay, fine, you want to fill your CV, your resume for like your CV, you know. A lot of people, they don't really know where to start. You know, you have to go pay someone to do this for you, do that for you. But with artificial intelligence, you can just tell them, oh, okay, I want you to do this for me, I want you to do this for me, and to give you everything, like to give you the breakdown. So I feel like it's a good upgrade for the world. It just depends on how you use it. You know, it depends on how you make use of it. So yeah, of course.
But what do you think are the main like potential dangers for our humanity from maybe overusing artificial intelligence, or something might happen?
I mean, if you guys have seen the movie I, Robot, so I believe in that. I think they can take over us and manipulate us, like how we manipulate them to do things. We'd be the ones doing things for them.
So we'll basically become a tool in hands of
yeah,
artificial
because they're way smarter than us.
right. But they have intelligence, much higher level, but they don't have conscience, I think. But maybe they would be able to have conscience.
Yeah, but if they didn't have a conscience, it makes them more dangerous because they have no feeling towards what they do. So
no compassion.
Yeah.
Right. What would be your take on it?
I think that the difficulty would be if AI ever became conscious, how we then treat that. And I think that will cause a lot of like moral and ethical divides. And in already such a polarized world, I think that would be like kind of the ticket of, you know, if you think about things like pro-life and that kind of movement, how that you would respond to AI being conscious, we don't really know. I think probably a negative thing would be AI in war. I think AI in weaponry is very scary. I think in these big, you know, but hopefully with like strong international diplomacy, that shouldn't be an issue. But that's what I'm the most scared for.
I think there's obviously a risk of people over relying on it and becoming like less knowledgeable in their own field.
Yeah.
And you could kind of lose some of that, like now you have a lot of people who know a lot of stuff.
Yeah, right.
But if you don't actually know what you're talking about and you're just using AI to speak for you, then you could kind of lose a bit of the human element of it.
Yeah, AI is very useful, like it's used in film and stuff as well. But AI is also like with art. I know there's a lot of AI art being done these days as well, and it just steals from artists. So I think that's a big problem too, as well as like there's a lot of like deep fakes.
Deep fakes, yeah.
Obviously.
How I say right now, we don't use the brain a lot. So maybe in a future can be independent and the human can disappear in the functionality in the words, few words will disappear because the AI will be alone, we don't need things like that.
I think AI will be mostly take place the human jobs like driver. You know, in China we have some intelligent car in the Beijing or Shanghai. They already takes place the driver in the world. I think it's more famous in American. I don't know if there's AI car in UK. I don't know yet, but it's famous in China and America.
I would say it's about information. Most concerned about, because the risk is now you can see like nowadays it's a lot of like fake news and fake information. So like for example like the US elections, so there is a lot of like fake information and like AI can do it. It's hard to say, you know, because if you want to generate some information and something have to go. So I'm not in this expert, but I think the government should do something to maybe set up some law to help us to protect from the fake information or fake news, because it's too much nowadays and the internet is so big, you know.
I think a big issue may be if people like me or how I was doing it, using it as a search engine, people putting too much trust in it, not knowing where it's getting its sources. I know, like, for example, ChatGPT, if you use it as a search engine, you actually don't know where it's getting its information from, and therefore you can't, I guess, judge whether that source is good or not.
AI now has made it easy for like some companies to be able to, you know, be productive in some areas. So artificial intelligence was going to lay off a lot of people from that job. A lot of people are losing their job. I have friends that are like, they're artists and all of that, and they're losing their job because AI is like, you know, is doing what the company, yeah, exactly. So I think that's one of the major disadvantage, but it all still depends, because it's not about you losing your job. There are other skill sets and crafts that you can learn that even the machine can't get to. You know, it's a machine for a reason. It's not made with feelings and emotions. You know, we are still higher power. You know, we still have the higher intelligence. You know, we just have to remodify how we do our things, and you know, we have to grow out of it. I think that's one of the biggest fear of human beings. We are scared to grow. You know, we're used to what we're used to now. We don't want to grow. So I don't feel like it's a big disadvantage, but yeah, that's a disadvantage, because a lot of people are going to lose their credibility because of the impact of artificial intelligence.
I feel like people might rely on it too much. Like if people rely on it too much, they might like lose some of the abilities of doing their own research and stuff like that. And also maybe criminals, they might use your information, like make videos and copy your sounds, the voice and stuff like that. Yeah.
What do you think could be done to mitigate any potential dangers of AI for us, for people?
I think it's just raising awareness of it and obviously saying there's strengths to it, but there's also the overlying problem of it.
Right.
So people just got to know what they're working with.
It's, I guess, monitoring how quickly it's developing and making sure it's like at a pace that we understand what's going on with the AI, as well as it understanding what's going on with us. And
I think because it's so new, with anything new coming into any industry in general, there's like a lack of laws that exist to sort of bypass that. For example, one of the biggest examples is like Tesla. When the self-driving cars were made, it wasn't regulated as much. So I think the pace at which AI is growing, the quicker it's regulated to have new laws, that can what's the word?
To beat right regulation
exactly.
system in order to keep it like constrained.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe sometimes we need to disconnect about maybe they must to put something like disconnection completely of social media, of everything related to laptop or something like that every 3 months, something like that, and maybe like a foment that activity for everyone, like, or maybe you need to disconnect it every 3 months about to use anything related to informatic or something.
Kind of digital detox.
Yeah. Disconnection completely, like go back like was before, like we don't have mobile phone, we don't have things like that. We write a letter, we use your brain.
I think taking international bodies seriously would be the first step. So if the UN, I think the UN and their degree of power is debatable, but if we really kind of all piled in with the UN and they made some kind of like international law, or for example the European Union, we're not a part of that anymore, that's a big shame, but I think the European Union has a big potential to do a lot of good in that respect, but I think it would have to be international bodies, it's not just governments alone.
I definitely like to see, I'm not too big of a fan on too much regulation, especially against companies, because I think innovation is good, but definitely using it to protect jobs. I think there should be some kind of regulations against companies replacing people with it. And then also, I think just some kind of way, particularly with like ChatGPT, knowing where it's getting its information from so you can judge, I guess, some more accountability in terms of sources.
We need more people to embrace AI, not reject it, because a lot of people are rejecting it right now. So we need more people to embrace it, and I believe that with that we can all grow as a generation and all of that.
Maybe there should be some laws preventing from gathering information and use them illegally.
All right, before we sign off, we really want to hear from you. Do you use AI? How's it showing up in your life? And what do you think? How's AI going to shape our future? We're super excited to hear your thoughts on the benefits, the risks, and how we can make sure AI is used the right way. Drop a comment below. We'll be reading them all. If you had fun hanging with us, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. This version is more energetic and emotionally engaging.
This version is more energetic. Thank you for watching. See you.